it's VOP this morning, and yes, it was a gun battle at
like
the
those
Lekki
movies.
area in Lagos. Yes, that was what came to mind. The Mexican,
Cartel
movies
movies.
where drug lords and the police would have to, fight over
Exactly.
supremacy.
All right.
But it was a gun battle, so it was reported, and the report also said it lasted for 30 minutes, and it had some gunmen accompanying
The
trailer load.
consignment.
Yes, consignment. That's the word. Consignment of drugs, large consignment of drugs, and they got into a gun battle with members of the police, and unfortunately, they were not arrested, but the report has it that they escaped, ran into the bush when they were overpowered. Well, we have with us in the studio Dr.
Dr.
Olawale Olutubi, and joining us virtually.
Virtually is former Commissioner of Police in Oyo State, CP Chuks Enwomu. CP, good morning and welcome to VOP this morning.
Yes, good morning to you. Good morning to listeners.
All right, good morning. So here is the situation, right? Recently, there was a gun duel between the NDLEA and some drug barons who were conveying some consignments to their several locations along a Lekki area and another two at Ikoyi. Now, this is not the first time we're experiencing this gun duel between the NDLEA and some of these drug barons. The NDLEA disclosed that it was via tip-off they got to know that this was happening, and it happened very early in the morning at precisely 4:15 a.m. along that axis. Now, the shootout took place for almost 30 minutes between the NDLEA officials and these drug barons who were, conveying the consignment to wherever it was they were conveying it to. Unfortunately, though, they were not able to apprehend these individuals, but they were able to confiscate that consignment. And the question I'm asking you, CP, because I know you've had experiences with these guys, exactly is, how comes they keep doing this despite the kind of security checks that is at the airport? How are they able to bring these things in?
Well, I think there are so many openings whereby such illegal drugs could find their way into the country. You know that the country is open via the air, land, and sea. So it may not have passed through the international airport. It could have come through the sea, or it may have passed through the land. The only thing there is intense intelligence network, so that when such credible information is received, is processed, and if it is cogent, they'll work on it and do their raids on such a given location. And if luck is on their side, they will successfully recover the illicit drugs and as well arrest the culprits. There is no, saying that the thing would have come through the airport. The nation is so vast that things come in via land or via water or by air. So it may not have come through the airports or any of the airports in Nigeria. It may have passed through land or may have passed through the sea. And once these drugs get in, it behoves on all of us, especially the agency, particularly concerned, to cultivate very, intensive intelligence. And if they get information on such locations where these illicit drugs would have been taken, it then behoves on all of us to cooperate with the agency to raid that hideout and or black spots, and in good number of cases, they will be lucky to recover the drugs and possibly apprehend the suspects. I think that's the scenario.
All right. So, CP, here again is the thing. Is there a special squad within the police force that has to do with, the apprehension of these individuals who are usually used to bringing in these consignments into the country and having to take it all over several locations where they have their, their stops, and they have agents in various stops, especially those who patronize them. Is there a special squad? And how active is the squad? Because most times it's usually between the NDLEA and these individuals. But what about the police, the special unit that is in charge for illegal drugs and their consignment or narcotics? I'm sure there should be a unit for that.
Well, those criminals involved in movement of such drugs are very, very sophisticated, and they have an international network. So they are always a step ahead of you. If you are not very professional, and if you don't do your regular trainings on ways to track and catch them. So for the fact that you were lucky to bust them does not mean that that is the end of such things repeating itself. Because as you discover where they operate, they will change their tactics and think of relocating to other hideouts that you never think of. And their modus operandi is such that they are highly sophisticated in the way they conduct these illegal activities.
All right, CP, good morning to you. Now, it's interesting that you're saying that these drug barons and their escorts are highly sophisticated. Yes, because they have the money to sophisticate, to protect, to get the weapons that they need to protect their goods. But then we also have the Nigerian police force that is supposedly, well, I use the word supposedly, empowered by the government. Now, what is the police doing? What is the NPF doing to ensure that it gets the weapons needed to combat people like this when they come in contact with them? Are you writing? Are there things you're applying for to get the weapons that you need to empower your men and officers?
Hello, CP.
Yes.
Okay, so you can respond now.
Well, you see, the thing is that they arm themselves with sophisticated weapons in good number of cases, from what we have seen that happens in some of those countries in the Latin American continent. And it is the same pattern they want to copy here. Though it has not been so manifest, it has not been very obvious. But the cartel behind those drugs are very powerful barons. When it comes to issue of resources, they are very ready to deploy huge sums of, money, both in local and foreign currencies. And their cohorts also operate in Mafian modus operandi that you hardly discern those who are involved in those illegal trade. It is only through very strong intelligence and information
All right.
that you can get the facts on their movements and the movement of the drugs.
All right, CP Chooks, I take it that you are not privy to the information of what the police is doing to empower itself, or maybe you don't want to share that much information. But I want to ask this, my next question. Are you privy to what happens when consignments like this are seized? What happens to the consignments? Drugs. What happens to them? Hello?
Yes, come again.
Okay, I want to ask if you have any information as to what happens to illegal drugs when they are seized from the criminals that try to bring them in. What happens to the products themselves?
Well, when such drugs are recovered, the value is placed on them, and they are brought before courts of competent jurisdiction, who will listen to the case and adjudicate on it. At the end of the day, if some suspects has been arrested and it is proven that they are connected with the drugs, either directly or indirectly, they'll be sanctioned. Maybe they'll be sentenced. Then the drugs in question, which are now exhibits, they will take samples of them, take them to the lab, know the extent of damage they will wreak on humans for analysis. Then the remaining is usually sent and destroyed on the order of the courts. Maybe go to a dump site and set them ablaze. That's the way they treat both the drugs and the offenders.
All right. CP, thank you very much for your input right here on VOP this morning. We do appreciate it.
Thank you so much, too.
All right. Now, we also have in the studio here Dr.
Olawale
Olatubi. Dr. Olawale, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so recently there was a scenario with the NDLEA and these guys. It was like Moses rightly introduced. It was like we're watching a Mexican movie, right? It was pop.
That's as reported.
Because that was basically what the NDLEA. That was what the NDLEA spokesperson said as to what transpired that particular day in Lekki, and it was very early in the morning. Some of the residents were actually quite confused as to why they were hearing the back and forth gunshot. So the question now is, what exactly is creating a scenario where we're having a prevalence of drugs being consumed, especially in Lagos?
It's a very sad experience in Nigeria presently, and kudos to the NDLEA for at least arresting, getting back those consignments. But gunshots for 30 minutes, well, we don't know what really happened, but let's
Don't seem to believe that there was that kind of gun.
My question is always
battle.
that gun battle, were they shooting the gun on the air or in the air, or because there cannot be a gun battle where we don't have injuries, or okay, there was no report of any injuries, no report of any death. So I think probably they need to be more trained in how to handle guns, because you can't be firing, shooting guns on people and
none of them died.
None of them died.
Escaped.
But we thank God that they were able to get
recover the
consignment. But it's a call to call for everybody, even the government, because the rate at which drug abuse is going on amongst youth between the age of 15 to 29 in Lagos or Nigeria, Lagos especially, is alarming. Gone are those days where we don't even know much about hard drugs, but now we hear about hard drugs even more than common malaria drugs on media. So it's affecting the youth and it's affecting everybody generally, and we need to work on it. The NDLEA needs to up their game in trying to stop this process from getting to the down users, because it's starting from bringing in from the international bodies, coming through our port. It's either coming through the air or coming through land or coming through the sea. So, and each of these routes which is coming in should have security guards stationed. If it's coming through the air, there are some people there trying to check for everything that is coming in. If coming through the land, there are some people checking the customs there just to check if these things are actually true goods you are bringing in. If it's coming through the sea, there are people coming to. So I think the mode at which it's coming to the last user should be checked from beginning to the end.
It's unavoidable to notice that the consignment in question was really big. You know, it's not something that you say you're smuggling in a bag, a handbag or something. It's big. It was really big. So one would wonder, how did it go past the ports, or whichever means it came in? How did it go past that security check to the point where it was on the road heading to its final destination, maybe? One would ask, what is the security architecture? How porous is it?
That cannot happen if they don't have powers backing them.
Okay.
Because you can't beat such security when you rather have like a godfather or someone in the high places Just
police checkpoints.
even police check, even someone in high place just trying to make sure, okay, let this thing clear, let this thing clear. And now the NDLE did the job based on intelligence, because they had the report that these people are coming through this route, and they stationed themselves there. They were actually waiting for them to come through that pit, and they started the gunfire. So NDLA works better when they get intelligence from people. But the question is still this: how did this drug go through all this mode without being checked? So we need to work on the leaders need to even make us know, the NDLA leaders, they need to be accountable for these things. That okay, they need to check, because they know. I think they know where these things are coming from. They need to stop it.
Okay. Now, the particular drug in question, it was named as Canadian Loud.
Yeah.
Now, we've heard Nigerian artists sing about it.
A lot of times.
They've used it in their music. Now, what do you say to the fact that the young people are excited about some of these illicit drugs, and they make it open to, sing the praises of how it makes them feel, and what can we do differently to educate the young people, especially entertainers? Because it's when they talk about these things, other their fans and for followers who want to try them as well. So what can we do differently now to ensure that, look, this encroaching usage. I use the word encroaching because it's becoming increasingly worrisome that Nigerian youths are delving deeper into the usage of drugs. What can we do differently to ensure that, look, that is stopped?
The thing is
and sanity is restored.
The problem now is that the use of hard drug has gone depth into the Nigerian youth. Is that
it has gone really, really far now.
Because you cannot get 10 youths, bringing 10 youths, at least 6 out of the 10 are into hard drugs.
Well, there was a student right now who passed on from this loud. Guy took it, and then I don't know when
What's
he
the
fell.
cause?
One thing about all these drugs, these
depression?
drugs, no. These drugs are medically certified to work for some things.
Okay.
They are opioids. These drugs are used to relieve pains. They change they affect the central nervous system, whereby your pain is down, they relieve pain. Some people having some neurological disorders. These drugs are used to control their mood, the way they behave. So now, once this drug is being taken in excess, and this drug has the capacity of being addictive because of the feelings you get from the use of the drug. So when you use the drug and you want to use it more, you want to use it more, you want to use it more. So the more addictive it is, the more it affects. So each time you take it, it affects your nervous system. So every time your nervous system is getting distorted, So your nervous system is now even getting used to using of these hard drugs. That is one of the damages of this use of hard drugs. The entertainment industry now needs to work hand in hand. The NDLEA needs to work hand in hand with the entertainment industry, because most of these youths don't even know that this Indian M is illegal. They feel it's something like cigarette. I met with some youth and they felt like while is NDLEA catching is Igbo not normal? It's called it Igbo. They don't know that it's even illegal to even carry it around. Now, gone are those days where if you want to smoke those things, they go in one corner. Now they do it openly. And it's as a result of what they are seeing the elderly people, the other ones, the entertainment industry, in their music videos, they take it around, they smoke it around in music videos. So the entertainment industry altogether needs to work hand in hand with NDLEA and the government to try and curb the use and the repeated advertisements of these hard drugs. Because the more people hear about it, they want to try it.
Exactly.
Like, oh, let's see, let me just see. And one thing about curiosity about youth is that the more they want to try it, after the feeling they get, obviously,
make them want to go back to
it. They want to go back to it, and it's killing. And one of the major causes of this thing is actually two things: poverty and unemployment.
What about peer pressure? Do you think peer pressure is part of it?
Peer pressure is part of it, but to me, I feel peer pressure is as a result of how your parents actually brings you up. I grew up in the same community with those two people now. I can say that when I was in school, I had friends that were taking this, but I was not part of it because I knew where I was coming from. So apart from the government and the NDLEA people, the parents need to work on their children, monitor their children. If you are noticing any abnormal changes in your child, please call them to order, because they say charity begins at home. If your parent is not calling you to order, and you're expecting the government to do that? So I think it should start from the home itself.
All right then. Thank you very much. Olawale Olatubi, Dr. Olawale Olatubi. Thank you very much for coming on the program. We totally appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's go on to business now. In the world of business, Governor Nasir El-Rufai of Kaduna State revealed on Tuesday that he had gotten President Muhammadu Buhari to agree to end subsidy payments. And he said the president agreed that it was senseless to be spending trillions of naira as subsidy on premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol. Well, he said the president unfortunately refused to stop it. That's coming from El-Rufai. Now, El-Rufai also said all 36 state governors, the National Economic Council, and the president agreed at the time that the subsidy regime was detrimental to the economy of Nigeria. But the President Buhari, refused to stop the subsidy regime. Now, this came as a former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Lamido Sanusi, also described the fuel subsidy regime as stupidity, stressing that Nigeria was heading towards bankruptcy as a result of it. Now, he said if the incoming government of Bola Tinubu should continue with the fuel subsidy regime, then the administration would be seen as an unserious one. All right. El-Rufai and Sanusi spoke during a policy conversation and book presentation organized by Carnegie Endowment for International Peace and Agora Policy in Abuja. All right. Now, in our second business story, the exchange rate between the naira and the US dollar depreciated to trade at an average of 740 naira to a dollar at the black market on Tuesday. Well, that's 9th May 2023. A 0.27% fall from 740 naira to a dollar that was recorded on Monday. Now, this was according to information obtained from BDC traders. It is reported that the dollar began the week under pressure as traders await U.S. loans data from the U.S. inflation data due to be released on Wednesday, 10th May 2023. All right. Now, the exchange rate started the year at 736 naira to a dollar and recorded its highest rate at 775 naira to a dollar on the 20th February 2023 and lowest at 730 naira to a dollar on the 5th of January 2023. Also, naira depreciated against the euro to trade at 810 naira to 1 euro on Tuesday, that's yesterday, representing a drop of 0.25% in contrast to 808 naira to 1 euro that was recorded on Monday, 8 May 2023. On the flip side, the exchange rate between the naira and pound recorded an appreciation of 0.11% to trade at an average of 932 naira to 1 pound on Tuesday, 9th May 2023, compared to 933 naira to 1 pound that was recorded in the previous day's trading session. All right, so yes, those are some business reports as put together by Cyril Abaku. All right, so let's take. Well, that's pretty much what we have. Well, we do have something on entertainment. All right, we do have something on entertainment. Let's see now. Oh well, that's about all we have for the show today, unfortunately. Well, that's it. My name is Moses Humphrey. Coming up next is VOP News Update. I must say a very big thank you for joining us. Don't forget to follow us on social media. Be part of the conversation. On YouTube, we are Voice of the People TV. And on other social media platforms, Instagram and Twitter, it's VOP TV Live. I'm Moses Humphrey. She is Esther Nwachukwu. Do have a wonderful day. Bye for now.